Hi, it's Deanne. So, how do you take more effective action when things are happening outside of you and it feels like a storm or it feels out of control and chaos? And whether it's a relationship or work or parenting, we have to start with doing the inner work. I know it would be so much easier if that outside storm would just stop, right? The rains and the winds or the tornadoes. And yet, if we keep going outside to see if a funnel cloud has formed, like that's not the safest path for us. It's not the most effective. So, how do you do the inner work? What does that even mean? You start by attuning to yourself. So, you might do a 1 to 3 minute body scan. What's a thought on your mind? What are body sensations that you're having? Is there tension or tightness or busyness or calm in there? What emotion goes with that? Might be sadness that you don't even know where it came from, right? When you attune to yourself, it's not about trying to figure it out and solve it. We're not there yet, right? It's just about trying to notice what is. So as you're attuning to yourself, then you just be with it. You just observe it. So there's these sensations like how strong are they? Are they dense? Are they light? Are they busy? The thoughts, are they fluttering? Are they calm and quiet? Are they just kind of whiz by and you can't even get a sense of what they are? Just notice what is there. And sometimes by noticing, we start to have spontaneous insights like, oh, this feels like when, or oh, this conflicts with that value that I have. I brushed it off. I thought it wasn't a big deal, but apparently I'm still carrying it. So then we start to get a sense of what's happening for us. So after you get that sense, it might be physical pain, right? It might be, oh, my left elbow hurts. It might be my brain is busy or I'm mad about this. Then notice the opposite of that without dismissing, right? So my left elbow still hurts, but what else is going on in the big picture of the body? Like, oh, all these other muscles and joints are working pretty good. Anger, I'm angry about this, and I'm grateful about this other thing. I am frustrated with this person. I'm not in alignment with their values or decisions. And I can be grateful for the things that they've contributed or the ways that they're in my life. They both can exist. Again, you haven't figured anything out. You're just with it. And if you can really detach from attachment to outcome, oftentimes when we start to notice opposites, things start to release. So here's what I want you to do. You can pause this video and for about 30 seconds, go over into the pain or the distraction or busyness, the thing that's uncomfortable. Notice it for about, could be 15 seconds. And then switch back over and notice the opposite of that. And just do that 3 or 4 times without attachment to outcome. And again, you might notice that it starts to loosen the grip because our brain, when we are in threat mode, drains the blood flow, right? Gets us ready for fight, flight, or freeze. It activates our limbic systems, which give us tunnel vision. And so we're not broadening our perspectives, right? So when you notice opposites, you're more likely to open your perspective, which gets blood flow back up into the prefrontal cortex, which is where your sharpest tools are, where your most enlightened self, your wisest self, hangs out and can do some problem solving in a little while. But first, you have to make your way there. Okay, so you're noticing opposites, and this gives you a bit more balance. Now you can start to become responsive with yourself. Like now you can begin to transform it. So the first step was just ways to become aware. Now, how do I transform this without attachment? Meaning, again, if I, at this point, I'm like, okay, so I've got this pain in my elbow and I just need to picture some white light, or I just need to be grateful for the rest of my body to make it go away. Like, it's not going to shift it, right? But we begin to transform it by maybe I do some release. Maybe I do some ragdoll dance if my body's feeling tense. Or many of you probably do it just sitting throughout your day, like kind of roll your neck or stretch a little, right? Like you're doing some kind of release. Maybe you need a whole rock out dance. Maybe you need a little longer in the bathroom and do some silent screams or growls, like get down like a sumo wrestler, like get out some of that extra energy. And you don't even have to know where it came from. Okay, so first just intend to release it. And then you might choose to do some soothing. So you might imagine somebody you love and feel that in your heart, right? And then just let your heart do its circulating thing and let that love spread throughout you. No, it doesn't take care of the problem. You might not even know what the problem is yet, but it will change your state, which makes you more capable of problem solving soon. You might also do a calm place meditation, right? Like picturing a place that is something where you've gone to from it, you've got some familiarity to, and you use your senses and you're there. It's kind of like a brain break. You could do it for 1 minute. All through my day working with clients, we do this for 1 minute and the distress comes down. We haven't even solved anything. Okay. Or you could choose to try to see yourself through your dog's eyes, right? Like just, hey, it's all good. I love you anyway. No matter what, you're a human. It's okay to make mistakes. I love you. See yourself through your dog's eyes. Okay. So those are some ways to transform. Now let's go to the thinking mind. How might we work on transformation? Well, you might do updating your software checklist, like a worksheet. What's my thought right now? What am I telling myself? What are my perceptions? How do I know this is true? What is it I really want out of this? And if I got what I wanted, how could I experience myself? Oh, okay, so if all that stuff out there, if that storm would go away, then I'd be happy. Okay, so I want to be happy. Or if they would stop doing that, then I wouldn't be so worried. Okay, so if I'm not worried, then what am I? I want to be calm. Okay, or I want to feel more confident. I want to be able to live my values. Okay, then you start to look at what are some things you can do directly to make that happen right now instead of waiting the storm out. Okay, so the thought tracking sheet, updating your software sheet, or you might do a pros and cons chart. Like, so if I just react to this situation, what would that look like? Or if I just hold this negative thought about it, what would that look like? What's good about that? What's not good about it? What's not good about maintaining this thought? What's not good if I don't have this thought or reactive action? And by the time you get to that one, it also helps us have insights like, well, but if I don't speak up, or if I don't give that person a piece of my mind, or if I don't take that stand, then I'm left with good. That leads you right back to yourself of what it is you're looking for, what experience of yourself you're looking for. And then all of this starts to hone in on what is it I really need. So by doing this whole process, by becoming more aware and working on inner transformation first, it might be a conflict with another person. It might be somebody else clearly broken agreement. But when you do your inner work first, now you're more likely to take effective action because you're not going to be reactive. It's not going to be more primitive, right? It's not your like teenager self, I'll show them, right? Or it's not your limbic shutdown, right? Or your basal ganglia, you're anxious, panic mode. So then you have a chance to take more effective action, like from an empowered place. And then you are being the change you want to see, right, Gandhi? You be the change. You will feel so much more grounded and anchored, even when you're in a storm.